Did you see those weird, like just stupid Jordan Peterson tweets?
Oh yeah. How do you feel about Max getting banned?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Max right now. Okay.
Based.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I'm ready to be cancelled by your chat.
Go. Do what you want. Do your worst.
So, okay. Let's say that this was structured like Max sometimes presents it, which is like an office setting, right? And the dynamic exists, and you're the boss, and these people are your underlings. Do you think that what you were doing would constitute some form of like sexual misconduct if there was like an official organized structure in place?
Yeah.
Is that even a spicy take? It feels like a spicy take.
Would you say our friend, good friend of the streams, Max, got banned from Twitter?
Yeah, I did see that, yeah. That was because of tweets about age of consent and stuff, I believe.
Yeah, I think he said if he was 12, he would have loved to have gotten blowjobs from 47-year-olds. Which is a very Max thing to say, but...
I mean, that reminds me of the Miley Yiannopoulos take that got him cancelled.
Yeah, that was wild. That dude was high on his own supply.
Yeah.
Like, he thought he was untouchable, but that pedo shit...
The rightoids can excuse a bit of pedo shit, but gay pedo shit, they are like, not interested. They will fucking cut you off.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously I don't really like, you know, big tech bans or whatever. You should try and follow TOS. I think Twitter is like on this anti-child predation kick at the moment, right?
Yeah, it's always like anytime you've got some shit going on, there's like the break glass in case of emergency, and that glass is like focused on like pedo shit. Elon was like obsessed with a while. Did you see those weird, like just stupid Jordan Peterson tweets?
Oh yeah,
where he's
harder
like,
to find child porn now.
Yeah, hard to find child porn now on Twitter, I've noticed. And it's like, that's kind of weird, but okay, my dude.
Anything to support Elon Musk, even if it's insinuating you look at child porn, it's got to be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's what it's linked to. I don't know what the TOS is around it exactly, but yeah, how do you feel about Max getting banned?
Well, I mean, obviously I think it's sad. I don't like anybody getting banned, and Max is falling into increasingly dire straits, so.
Yeah, I mean, man, this whole thing, isn't it? God, it feels like it was so long ago. I haven't actually spoken to Max for a little while. It feels like I'm saying that to curry favor with you, and I'm sure Max would present it that way. But
yes, thank you. My white blood cells come to me. Come to me, yes.
Yeah, I guess one thing I could ask on that is, because I said I thought it was really fucking retarded that you were sexting with Anna after everything that happened.
Oh, like, that's what your video should have been focusing on, but instead you attacked his daughter, you disgusting fuck.
I guess that, like, obviously maybe, I don't know. What do you think about these kind of criticisms that you get? Do you, like, want to attack the people that make them,
here's the thing, right? So me and Anna figured our shit out, I think about a year ago when I brought her on and we had that OCD talk. For a long time, I didn't believe that anything she had was anything related to OCD. I thought she was obsessed with me because I've had friends with OCD. Byron had really bad OCD, and I had an ex kind of who had OCD, and I'm familiar with like the ritualistic patterns that OCD people get involved in, but I've never seen it manifest in like situations in other people. I've never seen anything like that in my life. But like, after like a year or two of her talking about me on a stream, I finally decided like, okay, I'll take her word for it and look at the OCD shit, and I'll start reading about this online. And then when I started to view her actions through the lens of the OCD stuff, everything fit perfectly and it started to make more sense. So basically, and then we talked about this privately because it was like, listen, because like I've got a lot of people I can talk to. I don't even have to come to this. And I was like, oh, you know, we don't have to talk, or like maybe we shouldn't talk, or blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, like you're cool. Like I like being friends with you. It's fun, like chatting and blah, blah, blah. But like, these are the things that I do. This is what happens. And like, just so you know. And then like, I shared a couple emails with her that I'd gotten from people. It's like, oh, these people are describing this. She's like, yeah, this is really accurate. So basically the thing that happens is if she sees, here's her like compulsion, is when there's information about her on the internet that she feels like is incorrect, it starts this mounting tension that it's like for an OCD person, there's like a compulsion or a routine that you need to do that starts mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting. And her routine of solving that is to go on stream and talk about that thing until she feels that relief, because she feels like she's correcting the record. So what would happen is she got better about controlling it. I think she's on medication now for OCD, and she's like more aware of it. But every now and then she would have like a loop thing. But we decided that when she was gonna do a loop, I wasn't gonna talk to her about it, because that's part of like the relief-seeking behavior, and that's like an unhealthy mindset to get into. So she would loop, and then usually she would start spamming me with messages, and then like the next day or like a few days later, she'd be like, sorry, I was like looping, whatever. Like, yeah, it's fine, it's whatever. And then that would happen. And then anytime she'd find like, hey, like there's a Reddit thread that says like this shit about me, can you remove it? They're like, yeah, sure, I can do what I can to like take down shit if people are posting about you, so there's not like random threads floating around you. And then for the most part, like our relationship has been like pretty good. Like we like chat as friends. I think she's like dating a guy now. I think she's public. Like her life is doing her thing. We chat every now and then. But I think that like I guess the weird part to me is that like people expected like a really big like public update, like, hey guys, just want to let you know where me and Anna are now. And it's like, I don't know, I don't think I owe that to anybody. I think that's kind of fucking weird. I think I'd said multiple times on stream, like, me and Anna are chill, everything's cool, like I'm done talking about that, we move past it. I still think she acted kind of insanely like a year or two ago. I could have acted better, I guess, a year or two ago, but like that's where it was at. But I think that like the demand that like I give like some huge public, like this is where me and Anna are now and I want you all to understand this, I think it was kind of weird. I don't think I owe that to anybody. But that's basically how I felt about everything.
That's a lot of words for I can't resist mentally ill women, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that goes without saying, so. What am I going to say?
Listen, mate, look, I appreciate where you're coming from all of that. And I mean, I've brought this up more so as to have the conversation about the meta of the conversation. But I'll just say that if I had a mate and they came to me and said all that shit you just said, I would say, give it a miss, mate. Just, knock it on the head. Personally, that would be my advice.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like, that's fine. I think it's okay advice. I guess the only issue that I have is that people like Max and then his fans, and I guess even some of my fans, are like, in their mind, they're like, oh, well, look at the Anna shit, like it's all blowing up again, because like Anna's crazy and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, or because I am crazy for messing with her, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, that's not the case. Like, for the most part, things were okay. Every now and then, she would still, every now and then, have like a little loop on stream, but she'd delete it and she'd be fine or whatever. The reason why it all got brought up and crazy again was because Max and Lav hardcore got into her head and started spinning her shit like crazy so that they could have their like day in the sun, basically. Which is why as soon as like Anna realized what was going on, and if she wants to leak our DMs, she can. I'm sure Max maybe thinks that I manipulated her. But like when Anna started to realize what was going on, that's why Anna started to shit talk Lav and Max in like every chat she was in. And that's why Lav came out. She's like, oh, Anna was a manipulator. Like Lav started to act like Anna was like the master manipulator to everything. She's like, she lied to us about everything, blah, blah, blah. But in Anna's mind, she just saw like, oh, these people just want to help me like correct the record again on my history. And that's where she was going. But like absent like Max and Lav, like everything there is like fine. There's not like any weird issues or anything coming up, but yeah, I don't know.
Cool. Okay. I mean, just to be clear, I don't think you're a sex predator. I think that probably is clear already.
That's what you think. Yeah. Well, we don't know. Hold on. Max's article isn't out yet. Okay.
We don't
know yet.
Do you think? Okay. Let me ask you this, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Max right now. Okay.
Based.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I'm ready to be cancelled by your chat.
Go. Do what you want. Do your worst.
So, okay, let's say that this was structured like Max sometimes presents it, which is like an office setting, right? And the dynamic exists and you're the boss and these people are your underlings. Do you think that what you were doing would constitute some form of like sexual misconduct if there was like an official organized structure in place?
Almost certainly, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine. Because I guess the thing
well,
is...
Well, to go a step farther, I mean, like, but I'm not anybody's boss here, right? Like, if there was somebody whose, like, only path to success was, like, through me and they were, like, my employee and I'm, like, determining whether or not to have them or not have them on stream based on our sexual history, like, that would be really fucked up in a boss setting. Now, even absent a boss setting, it could still be really fucked up. But, like, this is why I've said this in the past and I'll say it again, for what it's worth, but I mean, Max thinks I'm a master manipulator anyway. But like, if any girl out there has ever in their entire life thought that like I have ever held my stream over them to come on stream for sex, I've never ever done that in my entire life. Not even a single not even when I was a bad person in my 20s, I've never done that ever. Like, and again, that's right, like almost, and I'm pretty sure like almost every girl that I've fucked with, and then every girl that has also been on stream that I fucked, like almost all of them I've had like explicit conversations like, hey, listen, like I know we've messed around in the past, like if you ever want to come on stream and chat or whatever you want to do that, like that's fine. It has nothing to do with any sexual relationship or anything like that. Like even with the lab stuff, because when we'd hooked up, I think that was like don't want to get my timelines wrong, but I think that was like a month or two before she even started coming on stream a lot. And I wasn't hating on her at all. When she was starting to come into my Discord a lot and argue with people, we weren't sexting, we weren't trading nudes, we weren't even flirting, nothing like that. Like we hooked up once and then we were just like kind of friendly after that. So like there's never ever been like this trade of sexual favors for coming on my stream ever. And if any girl feels differently, you have full permission to leak all of her text message or anything. Yeah, that's just never happened. But if it did happen, it would be really fucked up. I would agree, 100%.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I guess that the argument from there would be, like, is there like an implicit suggestion or is there anything unsaid that could lead to that conclusion? You know? Obviously I don't know 'cause I can't see your fucking DMs, but...
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Like, this was one of the things that I was a little worried about for Max, that you could spin this as, so like, here's something that you could theoretically say, right? So there's gonna be a natural progression of like, I'm talking to somebody, we're talking a lot, we're really friendly, we also start like fucking, like maybe we're chatting a lot, maybe they come on stream, and then we kind of like, because like naturally you talk to people more or less, maybe we stop talking, maybe we stop fucking, maybe they stop coming on stream, that like, you could probably find like a few of these people and like spin it goes, well, look, the last time they had sex was like January 17th and January 18th was the last time she ever came on stream, and make it look like a really malicious thing, when in reality, oh, well, we probably just stopped talking as much, we stopped hanging out as much, they stopped coming on stream as much, like it just kind of like happened. It wasn't like, oh, you're not fucking me? No, you're not gonna get on stream anymore, fuck you, bitch. Like that would be like the only thing I can think of. But yeah, I mean, like implicitly you can find anything anywhere you want to find, but that's why I'm very explicit when it comes to like boundaries and shit or sex related to stream stuff. Like there are people that I stopped having sex with like years earlier that like would still come on stream in the future, and there was like never a problem with that. I was never like, oh, you're not coming on anymore, you're not giving me pussy anymore, I don't want to talk to you, blah blah blah. Like that's just never happened. But yeah, but what are you gonna do?
How do you feel about Max now? What's your kind of thought process there?
I surprisingly past Destiny was just so prescient. I think I had a conversation with him. I think it was the second serious conversation we had where I said, listen, people try to fuck me over the time, but I think for the most part, when people try to fuck me over, it's not because they're actually evil. They actually do think they're in the right, or they're like, they found something that they need to like expose. And I think that's kind of what happened to Max. Like, people say I'm naive, but like, I don't actually think Max is like an evil person. In terms of like, he intentionally is trying to like destroy people or destroy me or whatever. I think he does think he's doing the right thing, but I mean, yeah. What else? What am I going to say about it?
No, sure.
Obviously, I disagree, but yeah. And he's got like severe problems with like empathizing with people or understanding how people think or any of that shit that like severely inhibits his ability to have a good perspective on almost anything. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he genuinely was like hurt by what happened, and felt abused or whatever, and then he's trying to find that abuse. As I've said from the start, I think that if you're the victim of abuse, I don't know if you can lead an investigation into it, particularly if you're reaching out and saying, I'm a victim of abuse, are you a victim of abuse too, or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of issues there. I think initially I was just really upset about everything because like the idea of him messaging like random women that I've known professionally that I have never in my life even had a remotely sexual relationship with, like people like Hafu, that he's like reaching out and DMing, like there was that issue. And there was the fact that he keeps saying, I don't know if he said this recently, but he would keep saying like, me and multiple women are ready to come forward. And he would keep saying that to everybody. And the problem when you say something like that is you've presented no evidence, but now you're like pretty resolutely putting in people's minds that like, oh, wow. So there's like multiple women that are ready to accuse Destiny of this shit. Like something pretty serious happened. I was like, no, there's not. That's fucking bullshit. Like you've got like, you're building everything off of Lav and Anna's story and maybe one other random girl that's messaged you. But like, that's so fucking annoying that he keeps saying that to so many fucking people. That irritates the fuck out of me. This isn't speaking to the Doc Max's thing. I don't know what exactly he's going to come out with, but are you familiar with the concept of the CDO, the allegation CDO?
This sounds like a phrase that I literally invented. Why?
Well, I thought it might have been. I got it from a comment somewhere, and I thought maybe it was you.
I think so. Yeah, the idea
tranches.
Collateralized debt obligation is where you tranche together a whole bunch of different types of investments in order to build the overall. To reduce the volatility of the overall package and get like a good high return on it. Yeah. So you're like throwing together a bunch of shit allegations, but if you get together enough of them, they can have the impression of being more solid than they actually are. Yeah. That was another thing I was
Callahan.
issued about as well, because it's like, if you let's say you got like 4 girls and all of them had bullshit allegations against me, fuck, you know, nobody wants to be responding to 4 girls with bad allegations sexually about you. Like, even if you're 100% correct, it just looks so fucking horrible, you know?
Yeah, I think the Andrew Callahan is the most recent example of this in action, right? Like, some of the allegations are literal bullshit. Like, he likes getting his dick sucked and not eating her out in return, and that was added as an allegation.
Yeah, I don't like. The thing that is the saddest about that is anytime a bunch of allegations come out or a bunch of people saying something, I start to look at it like there might be something here. And I think with that Andrew Callahan guy, he might be a little creepy. There might be something. But man, did that girl fuck up by throwing in so much stupid random shit on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I really have got little sympathy for people that do that anymore.
Like, he's got a list of girls that will like give him head, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck are you throwing this in with like sexual assault allegations? Like, are you a fucking idiot?
It's pretty wild to go from like a literal brutal rape to like, oh, you know, he was dating people that look young, according to my friend.
Oh, yeah. No. That wasn't even according to her friend. That was according to something that her friend heard. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And that wasn't even underage girls. It was girls that looked young. Something that my friend heard. So this girl told me that her friend heard that he was hooking up with girls that looked young. I'm like, what the fuck? We're on like 7 levels of like autism at this point. Like, I don't know. That was dumb. That's stupid. But...
Someone in my chat said that you got spreadsheets on which girls are down to fucking specific cities. Is that true?
You know, don't worry about my personal life, okay? I keep all that under wraps now, okay? All that is under wraps now.
Okay, well, that speaks enough to it. That's fine. Okay. I mean, what else is there? I feel like we have covered a lot of stuff. Are we speaking for an hour? Is there anything else?
I don't know. How have you been? How's life going? You're getting those LSF clips. You're starting to do that. You're catching some heat.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, this is probably something you're familiar with. It's the lefties kind of starting to move away from you or criticize you, and, you know, you come in contention with them and they don't want to associate with you anymore. I've been having a bit of that recently. I've been kind of earmarked as like a DGG, Destiny Dick Rider.
Have you kind of like broken off from that, from like the lefties? Or are you still like...
Yeah, my politics fundamentally, I don't think have changed. Like, I still, you know, I'm a big
Sorry, when I
believer
say broken off from the lefties, I don't mean I don't mean like your politics have changed. I mean, like, are you done like debating with like fucking trans people or all that shit like every single fucking day? I don't even know if you were even as like caught up in that as I was. Maybe you weren't.
Okay, look, I'll give you a take on that in a sec, but I need to point. I was going to say this yesterday on Twitch, but I was worried. I'm going to say it now. Okay.
Shit. Okay.
Is it just me? Okay. Is it just me?
Oh God.
Or when a white cis heterosexual man is accused of allegations of like misconduct, it's instantaneously believed by lefties. If a trans woman is accused of the same thing, there's immediate scrutiny of the statement. Is this true? This sounds like the groomer narrative. Da 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 da. It feels like there's this fucking scrutiny on white cis dudes from lefties. It doesn't exist when it's like a trans woman that's on the fucking docket for these sort of allegations. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that even a spicy take? It feels like a spicy take.
Nah, I don't think it's a spicy take.
Okay. I don't really care about gender. Trans people do what you want. I just don't care enough about the gender thing to really debate it significantly. There was the trans genocide discourse recently, which was fucking pathetic. There was a panel about it yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I just don't.
Another one, yeah.
It just seems so far removed from the reality. And, you know, you don't always want to appeal to normies because normies can be retarded on stuff. But, like, why are we at this level? Why are we making these insane claims? It makes us look fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like the Balenciaga stuff. You don't have to go full Vitoid soy about it and act like they're all demon pedos, but just say, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Like, is that too hard to ask for, just to look a bit normal when you're talking about these topics? So I just don't want to be associated with that sort of shit anymore. It's just pathetic and cringe, and you know.
What is like what are your concurrent viewers on Twitch these days?
Concurrent views on Twitch. Well, when you're live or when you're not live, that's the question. No, listen, it's all good. I understand the dynamic. Basically, normally it's between 300 to 400 across the average of a month.
Okay.
Peak 500, 600. Lowest point if I'm playing like a video game, like 50 or 60, but normally between 400, maybe 500.
Do you have like plans for the new year, like New Year's resolution for Chud content? Have you talked about that at all?
I just need to be a bit more. I could be. I am a bit lazy, I guess. I don't know. I just need to put myself out there a bit more and get on some of these. Just get on different shows and get on different. I could probably reach out to people and be a bit more, forthcoming and trying to get on stuff. I'm just a bit lazy sometimes. I don't like being a clout shark. I don't like begging people to, come on their stream or come on their content. It just feels a bit cringe.
Sure. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So
August says you're going to improve on your stream if you start playing Factorio. That's what August says. So.
Okay, August. I'm never going to beat the Destiny Orbiter allegations if I play the same autistic games as him. True. Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, I mean, obviously I have pivoted more towards more drama content with politics as an aside, really. It's tricky because sometimes, like, you feel like there's not much going on. So you could probably sit there with a few thousand viewers playing video games regardless of what's happening, right? Whereas...
I'm so sorry. Keep going. Sometimes there's not a lot going on, so you can sit there with a few thousand viewers playing video games, and you were going to say it's harder for if you're not as much of a developer.
It's hard, I feel like I'm always on the grind set to think about what content to cover to maximize viewership. Obviously, I do this full time, but it's constantly moving forward. Whereas for you, I think you can probably kind of relax a bit, and you're still going to reap the reward of the audience you've built already, right?
I was going to say one funny fucking thing. I didn't know Denims was doing this too. Do you know what the Denims and Mike from PAs are the Denims on the Central Committee strategy are?
No, what's that? Oh, Hassan in the title.
Yeah, you just put Hassan's name in the title. Even if it has nothing to do with him, you always put Hassan's name in the title. These people will always stream before Hassan, and they put Hassan in the title, and then that's how they get their, they're always like the Hassan waiting room. It's funny, it's kind of sad, but kind of funny at the same time that he's managed to build. He has like orbiters, but he never brings them on stream. He doesn't associate with them at all. They're actual orbiters. Like they orbit and they never visit the planet ever. That was kind of sad and funny to me.
You got to take a bit of stick. I'll take getting called, a Destiny Orbiter, whatever. But it pisses me off that people don't. It's the Hassan Orbiter Industrial Complex. Yeah. All these people orbiting Hassan. Hassan never fucking talks to them or recognizes their existence.
Ever, and will never recognize, because they're not big enough for him. Yeah, that he's too clouded up to care. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, Jesus. Exactly.
And the thing is, the kind of vibe on Twitch with politics is like, you have to, Hassan's politics are the way, basically.
Yeah.
There was a panel at TwitchCon of politics. It was all fucking Hassan orbiters, and like IRI wasn't even invited.
Wait. There was a panel or there was a meeting?
Oh, there was two. There was one meeting I think happened, but there was also a panel that like Frogan was on, Denims was on, Lucid Fox was on.
Yeah. Did you go to that meeting at all?
No. I didn't even know it was happening. I didn't get invited.
Melina got invited. The meeting was supposed to be for just streamers that did IRL content. And like Melina got invited, ST Peach got invited, Jake and Big got invited, people that like do IRL streaming. And then it was all of the Hassan Dick Rider crowds of like politics people, like Denims and friends were there. And it was really awkward, Melina said, because like the entire meeting they spent just like talking to and appeasing like this group of people. It was like, oh my God. And Melina was like, yeah, it was like really awkward listening to them talk about like, oh, what can we do to improve politics on Twitch? While I'm like permabanned and these fucking losers are like, sitting here like talking about like, oh, this is what we need to do to make politics better on our platform and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, dude, Jesus. But
I bet all their ideas fucking suck. I mean,
it's just whatever they can do to pull like the progressive narrative 1,000,000,000%. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's this, I mean, I'm just whining at this point, but, it's like there's this real lack of, like, a preponderance of different perspectives, and the righties are fucking dead. They're gone. No. They got fucking taken off. You couldn't have a righty on a panel without the soys kicking off about it. So now what are you left with? Arguing about fucking gender shit endlessly. Like,
always,
it's so boring.
Yeah. It's that was one of the happiest moments when I started to pull away from debating all of the fucking lefties, was like not having to argue about communism versus socialism constantly, or like, do we need a $35 minimum wage, or like, is the trans genocide happening, or is it transphobic to not want to blah blah blah. Like, oh my God, like getting away from that shit. This is why I need to make more, like, people criticize like fucking Lauren Southern and Nick Fuentes, like, or whatever, but my conversations with them were so much more meaningful than the 50 millionth conversation with somebody talking about like how healthcare and billionaires are fucking evil and shit. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I appreciate my combos with conservatives more because we have better, more meaningful issues we can disagree on than like the fucking lefty circle jerk with a bunch of fucking losers who just want to cry about like the same like two things constantly. Ugh.
Well, yeah, and okay, this is it schizo? I don't know. Do you know about the map panel?
I've heard about the map panel. Yeah, the
Okay.
legendary,
So-
the infamous map panel. Yes.
Okay. Did you did you cover it at all?
Nope. I was too
Okay,
lazy to
fair
do it,
enough.
but I saw the that there was like a 16-year-old apparently that was dating one of the dudes on the map panel.
Yep. So there was a 16-year-old, and they called themselves an adult attracted minor,
Oh my god!
and they were
base
dating one
name.
of the maps. They were dating one of the maps
That was
aka
on the panel,
pedos,
yeah.
on the panel.
Yeah.
And the pedo brought them on. The pedo got them invited on. So they brought the 16-year-old on to defend their relationship with the pedo.
So
It's
base.
fucking.
Oh my god!
Wait.
Just sounds amazing. That sounds like some good ass content. Holy shit!
To be fair, it was. I had a great time covering it because I wasn't involved. I got invited on it, and good. Thank fuck I said no. Jesus Christ! What
Yeah.
a bullet dodge there. But the point I was going to make is like, this is what the right wing talk about the. They weren't talking about society accepting degeneracy. They were talking about lefty content becoming more degenerate, maybe, because it feels like since the righties have gone, we've developed now into like map panels. I'm going on a panel next week about fucking dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the issue. This is why I always say that like it's good to have different political opinions expressed, because what it does is it moderates both opinions, because you're forced to kind of like meet in some like ground where you can argue, right? So when you've got like conservatives and liberals on the same panel, they're going to be arguing about like, well, what should our stance on immigration be, or what should our stance on like socialized healthcare be? But when it's all lefties, the argument is like, should we bring in 12 million Hispanic people or 50 million Hispanic people? Or when it's all righties, it's like, does Hunter Biden rape kids, or does he rape kids and drink their blood at the same time? You know, and it is like, it gets like so fucking crazy when you don't have the other side there to hold people to some reasonable standard of accountability when it comes to like conversations. You know?
Yeah, it feels yeah, exactly. It feels like I'm becoming more conservative because I look at like I don't know, maybe we might have some disagreement here. Maybe it depends how degenerate you want to be. Some of these drag shows that you see the conservatives talking about, some of them are fucking crazy. And whilst there's an excess and righties present it in a very unflattering way, there are times when I see a fucking kid there and I'm like, nah, this ain't it. This is mental. Like,
yeah. Or like they can't get pride shit. Like, I'm sorry, bro, I've got an 11-year-old kid. He's never gonna go to one of these fucking like no offense, like even like a drag show rating time. Like, there's just not some shit that he needs to like understand at this point. And he's 11. He's like decently old. But like that's just not, doesn't need to happen. And like yeah, and like it'd be cool to take my kid to like a like if my son was gay, if Nathan or maybe he is gay, I don't know. But if he turns out to be gay, like it'd be fun, I guess, taking to like kink or not kink. Jesus, fuck. It'd be funny taking like a gay pride or like some LGBT fucking thing or whatever. But if there's people there in like fucking BDSM gear or some shit, bro, my kid is going back in the closet until that shit is gone. Like there's no fucking shot that I'm putting him around that shit. It's just fucking weird and not, yeah, ugh, like no. And the fact that people want to like die on those hills, it's like, bro, come on, like we don't have to do this. Like, well, how far away are we from the yearly Kink at Pride discussion? How many? Jesus.
oh, it's coming up, mate. Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
a couple of months. Look forward to that. Well, I mean, obviously, Wiley Grace Rochon got kind of cancelled over that shit, right? That was a thing.
That was indeed a thing, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I think the problem is that lefties are definitely afraid of agreeing with conservatives. You don't have to call all LGBT people groomers. I think you can just say, this is pretty fucking weird. I don't think we should do this.
Yeah.
That's probably sufficient to pass the test of like, yeah, that's pretty fair. Like, I don't know. It just seems like that's the case.
Yeah, I agree, but
What can you do? Anyway, very long answer to the question. I don't want to be associated or close to that anymore. I mean, I'm going on a panel about fucking dogs, I guess, but the reason I'm going on is I want to make the case of like, you know, listen, it might be like you can probably do some sort of logic tree or whatever it's called. You know, what's it called? Propositional logic to argue why it's acceptable to fuck a dog. But should we? Should we as lefties be doing that? I don't know. That's the kind of vibe I want to go in with.
loser.
Okay, but I guess this kind of applies to you. Maybe you're the progenitor of some of this stuff with your incest takes and stuff. Do you think you got some responsibility for the craziness of discourse because of your, you know, arguments and takes sometimes?
Well, I like it's all good practice for like exploring like interesting hypotheticals to kind of like explore your moral foundations. It wasn't supposed to be shit that we were like actually doing. Like, oh, cool, I really thought about the incest thing and like now I'm fucking my sister. Like that was never supposed to be the next step.
Okay.
It was like, oh, I really thought about the incest thing and like I have a better foundational understanding of where some of my moral propositions originate from. Like that was supposed to be like the goal. But yeah, people get a little bit lost in the sauce or in their brother's cum, I guess, depending on how you view it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because I think there's going to be some beast fuckers on the panel, so yeah, I think we're
Hey,
introducing...
dog fuckers. Yes. That's what I want to see.
We got rid of the righties and we replaced them with people that get knotted by dogs, so...
That's good.
I don't know if you call that a win or not.
Knotted. You even know the proper terminology. Oh my God. When you just feel that thickening up inside of you and you know that they're stuck there until they've fully unloaded their little doggy drool inside you. Oh yeah, that's just the best thing ever. Oh my God.
I mean, I think everyone here that is a man of a certain age has seen certain videos. Let's not be stupid about this, okay?
Holy shit.
But it actually came... Destiny, fuck off.
Okay, that was a little bit of a self-report. I don't think I've ever seen a dog fuck a woman before, but listen, if
fuck
you watch what you
Destiny,
watch...
you are absolutely fucking full of it, mate. Come on. You've never ever seen the zombie dog cock. Give me a fucking break,
Zombie
mate.
dog cock?
Yes.
I'll check it out after this. But no, I've never seen the zombie dog cock. I didn't know that was a...
Listen, you're just virtue signaling now. You're doing the, oh, rape's bad, guys. Oh, racism's bad, guys. Oh, I've never seen dog porn, guys. Come on, mate. Give me a fucking
Hold on.
break.
First of all, rape is bad. I've never said racism is bad. Okay, calm down. Don't try.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, listen. Look, at the end of the day, I didn't get off on it, so that's the main thing.
Okay.
The main point I'm making here, though, is that I think that you know, we've come to a place where we're getting like literal, because like you say, the map thing was supposed to be a sort of conceptual conversation about should we use the term, and all of a sudden literal pedophiles are turning up on the panel. This dog fucker thing, I think dog fuckers are going to be there. It's off the back of, you know, that woman that came out as trans, you know.
Bro, I've retweeted and liked her account every time. She's trolling, right? I hope. I think she is.
I don't know, mate.
She is. The puppy person? She's absolutely trolling.
Yeah.
Wasn't she? Didn't she tweet some guy out and she's like, oh yeah, like this guy like supports that he loves that I fuck dogs or whatever? Like, it's a troll 100%. Well, I think it's hilarious.
Okay, I'm getting reports from my chat from people that I know would know saying there's a video of her getting, and I quote, knotted on her Telegram.
No shot. I need to go undo those tweets right now if that's true. She has
Mate, stop
posted
virtue signaling
videos
about
of
it. It's all right.
Fucking dogs? Wait, seriously? Okay, I
yeah.
take back. I no longer endorse this Twitter account. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. My bad.
If anyone knows the Telegram, tell me what it is so I know when not to look, when not to find it, okay?
Okay.
So DM it to me. Okay. So bestiality, pedophilia, incest, rape. What else is there?
What
I
else
mean,
isn't
Richard
there?
Lewis is in my chat. I think he wants to talk to you. So if you want to wrap up to move on, I'm cool with that. I've kind of exhausted all avenues, I think.
Yeah. Wait, do you know who that guy is?
Richard Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know him personally. I'm familiar with him from being on panels. I know he set up Dexerto, I believe. So, yeah, quite familiar with, you know, his work and whatnot.
Oh. Because you guys are like both British. I don't know if you like all knew each other there or something.
No. I just, you know, he does coverage of the stuff I look at as well. So some crossover there, I guess. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks for the chat, mate. Been a pleasure. And we'll catch up soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, stay safe, buddy. I love you. Bye.
Easy. Bye-bye.